What I like to start off with is my foundation. And so I'm going to take Charlotte Tilbury's Airbrush Flawless Foundation. I'm going to take it and put a little dots on my face. I made one dot too big, but we can easily blend it out. Apply less than you think for right now, but once you do that, I like to just blend it out with my finger, kind of get all over my face. We're not really worried about blending necessarily right now. We just want to get it all even on my face. You might look a little crazy right now, but don't worry, we're gonna blend it out easy. And I like to just go in with my fingers. It's not gonna look perfect right now once you're just blending it out with your finger, but we'll go in more with a brush, but your fingers can do all the heavy lifting. Now, you can see that it's definitely not blended out that well, but if you go in with a little detail brush, especially where you see like harsh lines or anything, and just kind of all over to make sure it blends in easily with your face. Once your foundation is done, you're going to want to go in with your concealer. I personally use the NARS Radiant Creamy Concealer. You're going to want to go in a little bit under your eyes, and then if you have any dots that you want to cover up, you're going to want to just put a little bit on that dot. I have some acne scars on my chin that I do want to cover up, so I'm just going to put a little bit there. If you covered up any redness or dark circles under the eye, you're going to want to blend it. I just say that because if you are covering up any acne, any scarring or anything, you're going to want to leave it on just a tiny bit longer than your other spots. Next, I'm going to contour ever so slightly. I'm going to grab my e.l.f. Cream Contour Palette. I'm going to go in with just a little bit of a darker shade right over here, and I'm going to put right where I see those shadows on my cheekbone. If you can't find that shadow yourself, you can always just do this little face, and then you can see where the shadows are a little bit more. And for contouring, you're going to want to blend in your face and then up, just so it looks a little bit more natural. Then I like to bring it all around my face. I'm going to do a little bit on my forehead, do a little bit at the top, blend those out. But you can't leave the bottom hanging, so you're going to outline that jawline. Then I'm going to take a smaller brush. I personally use an eyeshadow brush that is broken, and just put a little bit of a dab, not too much, and do it along my nose. I like doing 2 straight lines down. And with that contour, since we started the line here, we're going to bring it up to the eyebrow. Personally, how I highlight my cheekbones is with blush. And honestly, if you're just beginning, you only need blush. You do not have to do this whole contour step because this works wonders. So, you know that face that we did for the contouring just to find that shadow? This little one? This one also highlights the apples of your cheeks. I like to go in just where my eyes are, create a little dot, and blend down, blend up, and do it ever so slightly. Once you start from here, you can go a little bit down and swipe up a little bit more. Now, a lot of people don't do this step, and I don't think it's very popular in the makeup community. However, I like to go in with fake freckles. I think personally it hides my scarring a lot better, it makes it easier, and also I just think it's cute. If you do want to do this step, I personally use a Carry freckle pen. You're gonna go in, create little dots, and blend them out with your finger. if you do this step, it's important to make the dots all different sizes, all different shapes. So we're gonna do a little bit bigger and a little bit smaller around, and we blend out, just so it looks a little bit more natural and not just random dots on my face, because that is definitely how I used to do it. And you're done. This is just what I wear most of the time. I really like doing my makeup, so I will usually do all these steps, but if I'm feeling a little lazy, I'll leave some out. So this is usually what I go out in. And again, you do not need to use all these steps, just use whatever you want. But if you found anything in this video, let's say you really like the freckles now and you want to use those, you can, and you know how to do it. So very easy, very simple. Thank you for joining. Thank you for watching. Mwah. Bye. I hope you try it out.